to discuss it is Congressman Grijalva of Arizona. He's also a member of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. So, Congressman, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Maybe you could start by trying to get some clarity from that meeting you had with the president this week, because we said that Nancy Pelosi had signaled some openness potentially to changing the 2008 law, then backtracked on it. The White House had also sent some signals through the press that it was open to changing the 2008 law. Your understanding after meeting with the president, is that something that's on the table with them?
I think with the administration, I think the Secretary Johnson and the press secretary for Obama have both used the word flexibility, and I felt the position of the Hispanic Caucus was if this law is dismantled, then we won't be able to support a supplemental. We were direct in that with the president. The president made no definitive commitment about what position down the road he was going to take on that particular issue. But we stated our position and then also talked about potential executive orders to try to remedy some of the other immigration issues that are going on.
So I guess there's two questions. The immediate issue right now, and we've gone from talking about comprehensive immigration reform, forget that, now we're talking about $3.7 billion for this specific crisis of these refugees. So that $3.7 billion now, in the Republicans' mind, has been attached to changing the 2008 law. Given the reality of Republicans controlling the House right now, could that $3.7 billion, do you think, could it pass and get the Republican support it needs without changing the 2008 law? Is that realistic?
Yeah, I think it could pass. I also believe that, though, that we're not talking about any immigration reform. We're talking about a supplemental proposed by the president to deal with the humanitarian crisis that we have before us with the children and the unaccompanied minors, and to effectuate the law that's in place, to provide them with due process in the full extent. This is not immigration reform in any way you could define it as that. It's responding to a crisis. Immigration reform is something that the House leadership, Boehner in particular, has failed to bring to the fore.
One thing I'm curious about, too, just for your thoughts on is, I mean, when you look at the humanitarian nature of this crisis right now, and I think, most Americans, I think their hearts go out to these kids, and a lot of Americans want to find ways to take care of them, and if there's family here, to reunite them and view them as genuine refugees who, if they're sent home, are going to be in just some dire circumstances. I wonder, though, how you balance that instinct with what message it might send to others down in Central America, given just how harrowing the journey is to get here. How many will die along the way trying to get here? The more accommodating we are to them right now, does that not then encourage more to make that journey, and with tragic consequences?
Yeah, somebody described it, are you making the welcome too easy? And that will spur additional migrant children to come to the country. I think if you effectuate this law, and you do process, and you want to expedite, not every child that is coming, not every unaccompanied minor will have the benefit of refugee status or asylum. They won't qualify. Those will be dealt with by reintegrating them back to their country. Those that do have, under the law and under a history in this country, will have that opportunity. It's about expediting. We can't expedite without the resources. Bottom line, what the Republicans are going to do is probably do an enforcement-only supplemental, change or dismantle the law, and then make deportation and removal expedited by the simple process that you've eliminated the due process in the law. And that's their way of dealing with it. And I think something's going to happen before the break because, quite frankly, this is now a major political issue, and you want to go back to your district, certainly the Republicans and Democrats that are going to support it, and be able to crow about what you did for border security, when in reality you did nothing.
Right. All right. Well, we will see what that $3.7 billion proposal is sitting there. We will see what happens with that. I want to thank Congressman Grijalva from Arizona. Appreciate the time this morning, and coming up.